Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello all, what is going on? How y'all doing on this Thursday evening? Meet. That's all, folks. Just kidding. But I thought I'd get that in there because I am wearing a Looney Tunes shirt. But for real, what is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man, 1993, and Nikki Cross is watching you. She's watching me. Because she viewed my Instagram story the other day. So, watch out. She comes hiding from underneath pumpkins. Maybe she'll pop out of crowns at Crown Jewel. Who knows what will happen. But we are here live for my WWE Crown Jewel 2023 preview and predictions. I still cannot believe, of course, I am doing more stuff for Crown Jewel and not calling it WWE's Crown Jewel as I did a couple years ago whenever I absolutely would not watch these shows. But of course, since Triple H is has more control over creative now, then, the card is interesting a little bit. But, I'm not going to say it's been a perfect ride. The past 2 weeks have been a little bit filler, with some characters starting to develop. Like I said, Nikki Cross, I mentioned. They've given a lot more time to the women's division, on Raw mainly, and a few other things. So Crown Jewel's card seems decent. Like, looking at the card, we have 8 matches, 1 pre-show match. I would say I'm very interested in 1, 2, 3, 4 of the matches have my attention. The others, not saying they're going to be horrible, but I'm not quite as excited for them. At least, the problem I had with Fastlane's card was, again, the fact there was a lot of tag matches. This card, though, yes, could be a glorified house show, but there could be some good things that come out of this show. I have some very interesting predictions I do want to make for this. And for those of you who are fans of Survivor, I'm going to go all in, pull out my shot in the dark, like Caleb did last night on Survivor, and was safe from a unanimous vote for him to go home last night. I'm going to pull out my shot in the dark at the end, because you're not going to believe which match I am predicting is going to main event the show. I know it's a long shot. It probably won't happen, but I have a theory. I have something in mind based off of rumors that have been circulating about Roman Reigns' status for Survivor Series. Because apparently, and I'll throw this out there, there have been rumors speculating that Roman Reigns will not be a part of Survivor Series, and he'll be taking time off until the Royal Rumble. Well, till the build to the Royal Rumble, which I find kind of disappointing, to be honest. But because of that, I kind of had an idea for another match that could main event the show. And if what I'm predicting does happen, that could be a reason why that this match should main event the show instead of Roman Reigns and LA Knight. Which, yes, I know, I'm crazy. I'm going to get the haters saying, what are you thinking? Like, calm down. Let me explain my reasoning. You'll still probably call me an idiot for thinking that afterwards, but it's just, an idea I thought of that I don't know if it will happen or not, but it would be interesting. So I have a few predictions just to spice up a little bit of some things that could happen on this card, but it may not happen. But we're going to roll in. Also, for those who watched my past couple recorded videos, no, I do not have the dogs in here. My wife is home right now, so I let her have some time with the dogs. But if I'm still, cautious about the puppy. But, now that my wife's home, she gets to spend time with them and watch them and whatnot. So, anyways, I'm going to roll in and check the live chat. We're going to get started here, and we'll see what we got here. We've got Tyler, Wrestling News 365, and we've got Mark. Tyler says, hey, Mike, he thinks this show is going to be trash. Okay. What is Will Ospreay? Have heard rumors Will Ospreay is coming to WWE. Do you think he'll sign? I'm not really paying attention to those rumors. I know Will Ospreay is set to be a free agent very soon. I still think, though, his spot is AEW. Although, of course, AEW is cold right now, and I might have a short break in my rule about AEW. I still feel like he should go there, if I'm being honest. But I'm not going to knock on him going to WWE. But I still think he should go to AEW. Mark says, hey, how you doing? Not too bad. Wrestling News 365 says, Kairi Sane, I've heard rumors about her returning. What would be your thoughts on Crown Jewel? We will get to that. I am going to talk about her in this stream. Crown Jewel should be a good show. We will see. Even though I would love to see it, I just don't see LA Knight ending Roman's title reign. Neither do I. Tyler, we will agree to disagree again about Edge, and it's the last time I'm going to address it. Wrestling News 365 said, I would love to see Rob Van Dam wrestle Logan Paul. What do you think about that? He's doing so with AEW right now, but Rob can still go. I saw him wrestle tag team with Hook it was recently. He had a good match. He's looking good. I would love to see it, but like I said, I think he's more committed to AEW right now. But it would be cool to see Rob Van Dam and Logan Paul. Tyler's going to do his worst matches ever this coming Sunday. Okay, I will make sure to try to check them out when I have the time, Tyler. But I do thank you also for following up and participating in that, as well as that was a fun video for me to do. It was my response to just Alex's 2023 edition of Worst Matches. But yeah, we will see what happens with that. Anyways, we're going to get rolling because I have a couple of things I want to do tonight, but I want to make sure I get a nice, efficient preview predictions in because, guys, there is currently, let me double check, see if it's changed at all. Let's go to my YouTube studio and double check a couple numbers here. Come on. Maybe it won't load while I'm live. Might not. Hold on. Let me try pulling it up from my phone, see if it does anything. View channel. It's still not showing me that way. Dang it. Oh well, I guess I'll have to find out after. But anyways, please be a part of the final 50 subscribers needed for 2,000. Last I checked, I forgot to check before I went live. Last I checked, I am 50 subscribers away from 2,000. And my goal is to get to that by the end of the year. We're in the first couple days of November. So we will try our best to get there by the end of the year. We have Survivor Series. I have more video game Let's Plays that we'll be uploading. A couple other little odds and ends I want to try to do as well. We'll see, of course. The holidays coming up. It is going to get busy. Having a puppy feels like having a baby. Not almost like having a baby yet, thank God. Well, I should say thank God. I do want to have a child. But anyways, I'm rambling about other crap. Let's talk about Crown Jewel. But yes, please subscribe and help me get closer to my goal of this year to get to 2,000 subscribers. So let's roll in. Let's talk about this. So we're going to have, of course, a pre-show match. It's the first time in quite a while WWE has done a pre-show match. Sami Zayn and JD McDonough. I'm wondering, because Sammy had a great response when he appeared at Night of Champions, and of course the segment him and Kevin Owens had before their match, which was the main event against Roman Reigns and Sol Sikoa. I wonder if that great response led, because again, Sami Zayn before was not coming to Saudi Arabia because of his background and whatnot, being Syrian. But I thought he had a very, very great segment. That was kind of like a welcoming like segment, basically, with him, like, you know, showing like good from. I don't know how to explain it, but it was a moment that I personally always stood out to me, especially with the reasons why he couldn't come over to Saudi Arabia before. But this might be a chance just to have him have that moment again, even though it's on the pre-show. And it's to JD McDonough. Look, I do like JD McDonough. But again, even I keep ranting about this in my Raw reviews. The Judgment Day is just not working for me. Again, and it's just like, they need something else to give them another direction. I thought JD McDonough was the answer, but even that they screwed up with. I mean, okay, if you want to do the back and forth of him doing something right or him screwing up, that's okay, but at least make it make sense. Like, recently, he screwed them out of the tag titles. Yes, they won them back, but once again, and they won them back because Jimmy Uso cost Jay the match. And one week, they all hate JD McDonough. The next week, they're okay with him, letting him walk by their side with no explanation. So even that story's got kind of dead. But that could change a little bit with the direction of the Judgment Day, based off of something I want to talk about later on in the show. But Sami Zayn's winning this, no doubt about it. Sami Zayn's getting the win over JD McDonough. So that's going to be the pre-show. Now the main card. And again, I know this is going to sound very, very crazy, but based off of some theories I have, some fantasy booking I did, put the fantasy booking cap on. Shout out to Rob One Kenobi, who has the best fantasy booking cap of all on YouTube, in my opinion. I don't think they should close the show with Roman Reigns and LA Knight. I think they should open the show, the main show, with Roman Reigns and LA Knight. Now, I am pretty sure, yes, this is going to be at the bottom of the card and going to be the main event of the show, but there's a reason why I'm not predicting it to open the close the show. And the main reason why is because even though we all want LA Knight to win so bad, would love to see LA Knight get this crowning moment, I just still don't think it's going to happen. I think Roman is somehow going to retain. Yes, I don't want it to be the usual shtick of like, okay, Roman cheats and someone from the bloodline costs him or something like that. The same old thing we keep getting. Like, we need something different. If they want to have as a thing where like LA Knight came so close and then Roman, who hasn't used the guillotine for a while. Roman gets LA Knight to pass out instead of like just pinning him or whatnot. Like, something like that they need to do. Don't do this whole shtick of like, oh, distractions, this, and this. Like, we've gone in circles how many times with all this? We've done the same thing with Roman Reigns retaining. Again, legendary title reign for sure, but everything's getting very repetitive now. Again, ever since SummerSlam, it's kind of like they're in like stalling mood to try to get to Roman and Cody for WrestleMania 40. How they're going to get Cody there, I still have no idea. But again, this is a great spot for LA Knight. I'm just still worried that something could happen, that they don't book this right and LA Knight loses momentum. I said they got to somehow book him strong, protect him in the loss. And I still think the long-term story is for him to fight Logan Paul eventually for the U.S. title. Oops, I accidentally spoiled my U.S. title results. But that's the direction I think that it should go, which we'll talk about that when we get to the U.S. title match. But again, because this is a little more predictable, and because it doesn't have the booking idea I have for the end for the match I'm predicting the main event, I think Roman Reigns will retain. Now, of course, I think there could be a tease of something else happening in this match based off of how he cut the promo this past week on Raw. But we'll talk about that again at the end of the show. But Roman Reigns is going to beat LA Knight. I've settled with it. I'm just hoping that some way, somehow, they protect LA Knight in the loss, just so he doesn't lose his momentum. And like I said, well, honestly, they should have had him be the one to dethrone Austin Theory of the U.S. title. But they didn't. So, jumping to the world title again is taking a chance. But he can still hold up afterwards. We'll just have to wait and see. But Roman Reigns is going to retain. Whether it opens the show, whether it's in the middle of the show, or whether it main events the show, Roman Reigns will be retaining the title at Crown Jewel, unfortunately. That's sad. The next match is the WWE Women's Championship match with Io Sky and Bianca Belair. Credit where credit is due. These women had a freaking awesome match at Backlash when they opened Backlash back in May this year in Puerto Rico. This one I'm just not as hyped about. Again, because right now, especially when I see what they're doing with Raw's division, finally giving a lot more people a direction. Then there's SmackDown that, like, who do they even have? They have Io, they have Bayley, Dakota's hurt, Charlotte Flair, who we're all sick of her. She needs, like, something brand new to her, and her always fighting for titles. Bianca Belair, I hate to say it, is always fighting for titles. She's got to turn heel. Again, Bianca Belair has to turn heel. Her babyface character, to me, again, I love the woman. She's awesome. I'm glad they built a star out of her. But she needs a new direction. And she needs to turn heel and join up with her husband, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, and Bobby Lashley, and join their stable as a heel. I think the seeds are going to start getting planted more. And again, even because some people are saying they think Bianca's going to win the title here because the long-term plan is they've been wanting to do Bianca versus Charlotte at WrestleMania. You can do Bianca versus Charlotte if you want, but you don't have to have a stinking title involved. What I'm hoping is Io retains. Even if it has to be the usual cheating shtick, like, okay, whatever. I don't think Io should be retaining by cheating. She shouldn't and doesn't need to. But, based off of the heavier rumors lately, and even word that she is listed on the internal roster now, and Wrestling News 365 did mention it before, I think Kairi Sane returns after this match. She returns, has a stare down with Io. There's a title match for Survivor Series right there. Or, I don't see a super duper long-term direction for Io, which is why I'm not going to say WrestleMania. But that is still a WrestleMania match. Io Sky versus Kairi Sane. But I think Kairi will return here after the match and have a stare down with Io. And then that will send Bianca on her way to her heel turn, which I hope happens. Because again, she needs it. So that's what I'm predicting for that match. Following this, I can't believe I'm going to mention that I'm predicting who's going to win this match. Rey Mysterio versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. Again, it's painful talking about this man that I personally am not a fan of, personally. In the ring, you got to give Logan Paul the credit. He is awesome in the ring. Yes, I am also thanking the Lord Jesus they didn't give Logan Paul the Money in the Bank briefcase. I really, really thought they were going to give Logan Paul that briefcase at Money in the Bank. But thank goodness they didn't. Thank goodness they didn't. They still should have given it to LA Knight, but whatever. Damian Priest has been an okay Mr. Money in the Bank. I'm not opposed to them giving Logan Paul the U.S. title. Because I do see now, again, the thing that I'm worried about though, although we have a bunch of big name pay-per-views coming up, I don't want Logan Paul to take that U.S. title and just disappear for a while. Because we're going to have Roman Reigns. If Roman's not going to be at Survivor Series, you got to at least have your U.S. champion on Survivor Series. Which, I don't know if it's going to happen now, but I'm seeing Survivor Series possibly being like a mixture of Raw versus SmackDown and War Games. But I think War Games is going to more so go to the Judgment Day and people that they're feuding with. But I do think Logan Paul's going to win the U.S. title here. I think he is. I don't know. I mean, they still could do the long-term story where Rey retains and Santos wins the U.S. title. But I feel like there's a lightning in the bottle giving Logan Paul the U.S. title here. I think what's going to happen is, here's what I'm going to predict. Logan Paul wins the U.S. title here. I think his feud with Ricochet is going to pick back up. Since, of course, he's a free agent and can go between brands, have Logan Paul and Ricochet have their rematch at Survivor Series. As much as I would love to see Ricochet get his comeuppance, I don't think it's happening. And then, I don't know, he could probably be defended at maybe at Rumble, maybe at Chambers since they're going overseas. I'm not sure, who he'll defend against there. But I think for long-term booking purposes, and to give him a WrestleMania moment, I think the long-term plan will be for LA Knight to be the one to dethrone Logan Paul at WrestleMania for the U.S. title. Like, that could... Logan has a direction. But like I said, who else he fights in the meantime, I don't know. But I think the long-term plan, because again, I've been interested in this match since their promos leading to Money in the Bank. But I think the long-term plan is to do Logan Paul and LA Knight, and that can give LA Knight a WrestleMania moment, him winning the U.S. title off of Logan Paul, which I think would be awesome. But this will also be a good match, but I think Rey's dropping the belt to Logan. Sucks, but that's what I think is going to happen. All right, then we have like a quick little... This match here, Cody Rhodes and Damian Priest. This one was very tough to predict for me. Because I look at this match, and all I think of is, well, two things. One, I'm sure it's happened on Raw how many times at this point. This is probably just a random throwaway cool-down match just to get Cody Rhodes on the card in some way or form. But then there's Damian Priest. Damian Priest is part of my booking idea I have for later on in the show. And I kind of don't want to see Damian Priest lose this match. But I think he is. I mean, yes, this time Triple H has full control of the script. I still think this is gonna feel how it did when Cody fought Dom at Money in the Bank. But I don't want it to be. But I think it's gonna be. But I also don't want Damian Priest to lose. But I also don't think... Unless they do something, but I can't say it because it's going to give away what I think is going to happen later on in the show. And I think I already basically threw it out there what I think is going to happen, who I think should main event this show. But I'm just sticking with Cody. I still feel Damian should win based off of what I'm going to talk about at the end. But I still think it was also dumb to have Cody lose. It's just, it's frustrating. But then again, if Cody wins, will he be going after the world title? It's tough. Like, I'm probably going way, way, way out of the box with this. Or what if Damian gets screwed over somehow, and he once again says, no, this is 2 pay-per-views in a row, I'm not leaving empty-handed. Feeling like a loser. I'm totally giving away what I'm thinking of. Well, somewhat. Screw it. I'm sticking with it. Cody's winning. Cody is winning this match. I don't want to see him focus on the world title, though. I want him to see him focus on Roman still. But we'll see. I see this, though, being like the cool-down match, though, of the card, in my opinion. Before we go on to the last couple matches, let's check the live chat as I meant to do so. UCLA winning the Undisputed Universal title for Roman. Oh, probably meaning LA Knight. And how would you book LA Knight to lose if he was going to lose? I think I kind of did address that. I'd still say have Romans win clean, but get LA Knight to pass out instead of tap out, in my opinion. Tyler says Rhea needs to drop the belt. I disagree with that. Again, the booking of Rhea as champion has not been her fault. But ever since Triple H has taken over, she's definitely found a direction. Your dogs are so cute. Well, thank you, Wrestling News 365. Roman needs to drop the title to AJ Styles. Maybe him and AJ Styles at the Rumble, but I still think, again, my problem is too about AJ winning is the fact that AJ's been losing a lot since he turned face over a year ago. He has. So I want to see the match with him and Roman, but I don't think he has the story to be the one to dethrone Roman. Wrestling News 365. Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre is the best feud going on right now for Monday Night Raw, which very well could be. You think we'll see Ricochet involved in War Games? I think it's possible. Will you ever review AEW videos again? I don't know. Like I said, I can't talk about AEW. It just feels like every time I talk about AEW, it just starts up a bunch of controversy. I get frustrated with a bunch of different opinions and whatnot. So that's why I stopped, because I'm just like, okay, I still like it. Yes, I think Tony Khan has gone completely crazy, but I just can't talk about it anymore. Because it just creates... It's just such a toxic topic to me anymore. And I just don't enjoy talking about it anymore. So that's why I just more so keep that in the background. Break my rule here and there, which I may be in the next couple days, because I gotta get something off my chest with it. But yeah, I'm still not feeling confident in reviewing AEW anytime soon. So, still watching it, but again, it's just kept this between me, basically. All right, let's talk about these last couple matches. Well, 2 of them I don't have too much to say, but the one of them I have a lot to say. But let's first talk about this fatal 5-way for the women's world title. We got the champ, Mommy herself, Rhea Ripley, Zoe Stark, who is still the person I want to see win the Women's Royal Rumble, Raquel Rodriguez, the submission magician, the one who wrote Ronda Rousey out of WWE, Shayna Baszler, and everyone's favorite returning hero. The last night the McMahons were fully in charge, and it was one last middle finger from Vince McMahon. Hold on a second. It's my throat. The 5th member of this match. Use a flex bar, fanning myself off for a second. Feeling a bit feverish here. Anyways, It's... Jeez. Ate too much greasy food the past few days. Night Jax! Huh? Night Jax! Huh? Okay. Enough playing around. Yes, Nia Jax is in this match. And I am very interested in this match because of the fact that... Come on, get the light back here. I don't like... come on. There we go. I still don't like the fact that of all people in the build for this, they've given the most microphone time to, besides Rhea Ripley, of course, is Nia Jax. Squash. I squashed you. Oh my god, everybody talking about me. I squashed him. You're setting up for me to squash you. And I'm just like, oh, shut up. I'm just so mad that she's back. She's horrible. I'm sorry. I feel bad how she was let go the first time. I really do. That was not fair. Again, I don't know Lena or whatever the heck Nia Jax's real names. I don't know her. But still, I just can't stand her. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. But aside from that, I do like this match because it's giving a lot more women, like Raquel Rodriguez, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler especially. They're giving them a spotlight. It's given them the momentum again. Made them feel like legitimate. It's built up the depth in the Raw women's division. Makes SmackDown's women's division look super duper minuscule. However, though, Rhea's retaining. Rhea, again, I'm still going to say this. Rhea Ripley is probably going to hold that title until WrestleMania. And I would love it if she would drop it to an upcoming star who is in this match. Zoe Stark. She has that badass theme song. She's awesome in the ring. She's had a great run on Raw. She's probably been the best call-up this year. But I think Rhea's retaining here. Continuing to make her look dominating. I mean, yes, she says there is no leader of Judgment Day. But she truly is the leader of Judgment Day. Mommy knows so. But yeah, Rhea's retaining this match. But this match, again, despite the fact it has Nia Jax in it. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that again. But despite the fact that she is in the match, I still am interested to see how this match goes with all 5 of these women. It should be a good match. We then have John Cena. Taking on Solo Sikoa, the enforcer of the Bloodline, in a singles match. And John Cena, of course, since he's been back for this brief run, and there's rumors that this is going to be the end for this run. Maybe until WrestleMania, which I have a prediction as to how he'll go out. Now, obviously, people would want to see Solo Sikoa win this match. However, though, the story of this match is that John Cena is mentioned how it's been over 2,000 days since he last won a singles match, which was back in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, whenever they did the greatest Royal Rumble in 2018. He beat Triple H in a one-on-one match. That's the last time he's won a singles match. Which is making me think, okay, why would he, especially if he talks retirement, why would you have him lose this match? So, as much as I hate to admit it, I think Solo will be okay from this loss. I think Cena's winning this. even though I gotta be honest, when I saw Cena wrestle at Fastlane, I didn't think he looked like he was in the best shape. He looked kind of rusty. Or is it me just realizing more and more that a typical John Cena match is him getting his ass kicked for like 15 minutes and then he makes the grand comeback at the end. Unless he's fighting John Laurinaitis and beating the crap out of him for 25 minutes, then the last minute Big Show knocks him out. I already talked about that, of course, in my worst matches of all time. Both versions. Check them out, by the way. I think Cena's winning this. I don't think they would have this story of John Cena recognizing it's been a while since he's had a singles victory and then lose the match. I think he's beating Solo here. But how he gets written off. So I made a bold prediction based off of a recent episode. I've been listening to a lot of episodes of Insight from Chris Van Vliet. And he interviewed somebody that I made a post about recently on Instagram. And that's Karrion Kross. And there's been heavy rumors that they're getting ready to give Karrion Kross a big push. Some are saying it may be happening after Crown Jewel. And during that interview, Karrion Kross has mentioned he's thrown out the idea here and there of him having the match with John Cena. What if John Cena wins the match? That way he at least put the story of him on this losing streak to bed. But after the match, he gets taken out by Karrion Kross, and that's how he gets written off TV. And then, even though I want him to win, we do John Cena and Karrion Kross at WrestleMania 40. That could be a way to set it up. So I'm gonna say again, pulling out like a little bit of a curveball here. I still think that's what the plan to be. John Cena wins, and Karrion Kross attacks him after the match, basically like the start of his big push, and it leads to him having a match with John Cena at WrestleMania 40. He's talked about it and how he's kind of teased it here and there, Karrion Kross. I think you should go for it. I originally predicted it to happen on this show, but of course it didn't happen because I thought they were going to, until Cody and Jay dropped the tag titles, I thought that Jimmy and Solo were going to be taking the titles off of them on this show, but that's not what happened. But that should be down the line. That's a good long-term booking thing to start. So, I got that. Mr. The greatest of all time. Top 10, top 20 maybe, but not the greatest. But I think that's how John's run right now is going to end. And he'll be back for Karrion Kross for WrestleMania 40. Alright. So pretty much you all know by now which match I'm going to predict to main event this show. I know. It's probably, I'm still 90% sure that it's going to be Roman Reigns and LA Knight main eventing this show. However, though, the fantasy bug struck me. And it reminded me of something that happened to the challenger in this match. And based off of how he's been booked lately, how he's been acting, it just has me thinking there's got to be more to this than just Seth winning clean. There's got to be, especially with what's happening behind the scenes at Raw and whatnot, the rumors of his contract, and the status of Roman Reigns at Survivor Series, which I'll address that in a second. Again, there's got to be more that happens in this match. Which is also why I was thinking, well, Damian Priest can't lose, but then do this. Because then Cody Rhodes is going to want to come after Damian Priest and take the world title off of him. Unless they use that win as an excuse for Cody and Jay to go after the tag titles. But then again, that could be them possibly dethroning the world champion. But let's just get right to it. Wrestling News 365 just said to the live chat, one of the best storylines I think going on in WWE right now is this stuff with Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Mainly the interesting note is the character of Drew McIntyre right now. There's so much uncertainty about Drew McIntyre's future in the company. He still apparently has not signed a new deal with the company. And he could be leaving around WrestleMania 40. Which would be a big loss for WWE. But Drew said it. He wants to be a part of something meaningful. And I do think this something meaningful can happen in this match. But not saying he's going to win the championship. I think we're going to get like a reveal. A direction for him in the long term. That could still lead to him winning the world title eventually on Raw. So, as far as the match goes, I'm sure we'll get a good 15, 20-minute competitive match. These guys have wrestled each other how many times before? I mean, it's been a while. For a while, they're wrestling each other a lot. But they have good chemistry. They've had good matches. Their match at Money in the Bank 2020 was great. Who can forget, of course, when Rollins and Dean Ambrose took on Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre at Hell in a Cell 2018. Hell of a tag match that was. These guys can put on an excellent match, for sure. But how am I going to predict this match to finish? Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Damian Priest. Mr. Money in the Bank. I think this is the show he cashes in. And I think he will tease a cash in. If Roman Reigns and LA Knight do open the show, or at least take place before this match, even though it's probably not going to happen, I think Priest will make an appearance in that match, which could be a reason to call some other way to protect LA Knight from losing this match. From losing that match, and not looking horrible. Again, I'm back and forth still about him and Cody, but I still think Cody's winning that match. So what made me think of this? Well, originally I was predicting Seth Rollins to retain. Because I kept thinking with how they're building it up and the story leads them to it, I kept thinking they were going to do, even though, again, I don't like brand versus brand because there's no story. But I feel like with the new GMs and everything, there's going to be a mixture of War Games and some Raw versus SmackDown matches at Survivor Series. And I originally thought we would do Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns champion versus champion. Not unification, just basically who is the better champion. There's still a story here. Roman Reigns, the last time he fought Seth Rollins one-on-one was at the Royal Rumble 2022. And Roman Reigns lost by disqualification. And again, as I've said for a long-term booking, who was not in Roman's corner at that time? Paul Heyman. The only time Roman Reigns has not been able to successfully retain his title in a title match is when Paul Heyman was not by his side. So that's why I keep saying that has to be a factor when we get back to Roman and Cody. But based off of that and how Seth even fired his shots at Roman a few times, I kept thinking they're teasing a champion versus champion match at Survivor Series. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Where we could possibly see Seth Rollins beat Roman. Or, honestly, probably have Roman beat Seth. Because if you have him lose one-on-one here, you're going to kind of make him a little weak going to Cody. But anyways, that's kind of like unfinished business there. That's where I thought they were going until it was announced recently that apparently Roman Reigns will not be at Survivor Series. So, it's also time that we do progress with the story with Drew McIntyre. He's a tweener right now. He doesn't hate the fans, but he has his grudges against different wrestlers. And right now, this whole thing where he's just like so calm and cool around Seth, even though Seth's telling him to get over the fact that you didn't have your big moment in front of fans and that you got screwed by the bloodline last year. Get over it. Drew is still, despite being a tweener, and showing the soft side to the fans. He's not showing the soft side to the wrestlers. And of course, the story here is what is Rhea Ripley doing chatting with Drew behind closed doors? Or not closed doors, but like seeing them in the background during interviews chatting. What is going on? Well then, I thought of something that happened to Drew. Remember when Drew lost the title? He lost it because The Miz paid Bobby Lashley to help him cash in. And in return, The Miz would give Bobby Lashley a title match. I kind of feel like that's going to happen here. I feel like, to not have Drew lose, what if Damian Priest cashes in and either Drew claymores Seth and lets Damian win, or Drew McIntyre lays down for Damian Priest? And Damian Priest, I think Damian Priest is going to leave Crown Jewel as the world champion. But remember when I said earlier how the Judgment Day needs something new to them? What if this is a setup? Because Drew's going to go full heel here. And there's been rumors for a while. Because they kind of did the thing that they were teasing a breakup with Damian and Finn. Well, then again, they're still the tag champs, so this still may not work. But then again, they did it while Seth and Ambrose were tag champs. They had Ambrose turn on Seth. It could still be a swerve. It could still happen. What if this is setting up for Drew McIntyre not only turn heel, but for the Judgment Day to turn on Damian Priest? The plan here could be, because Damian Priest, of course, has shown some cracks with the Judgment Day over the past several months. Whether it was with Finn Balor, or whether it was this past Monday on Raw, where he is mentioning how, there's no communication. He's left out a lot of things. I feel like Crown Jewel, we have to get the answers of what's going on with Rhea Ripley and Drew McIntyre. We know there's something going on. So not only could we have Drew McIntyre not lose a match, but in some ways, whether he lays down for Damian Priest or takes out Seth Rollins during the match to let Damian Priest cash in on him. What if Drew McIntyre takes out Damian Priest after he wins the title and it's like a double turn? It's something different. Like I said, Seth's been on the run of his life with this title. But I feel like you got to really make a big move here with Drew. And that's why I feel like a cash-in's going to get involved somehow. And this could set up for Drew to win the world title off of Damian Priest. Maybe also. Again, I know it's a long shot, but it's just the idea I had. This storyline, Drew just feels like a ticking time bomb right now. He's showing his anger, but he's also I'm angry about it, but it's cool. It's cool. And he's even teased those few moments where he's done something if people want to win it this way, that's how I'm going to win it. So I really feel like we got to reveal what's going on with him and Rhea. And that is, he helps Damian win the title and then Judgment Day turn on them, giving Judgment Day somebody new and a possible new direction for them. Now, what happens with the tag titles, God knows. I have no idea what they'll do with the tag titles if that happens, because Damian and Finn still have the tag titles. But it's kind of interesting. Unless, they have them share them with the Bloodline, because they have some little deal going on with them right now, it seems. But I don't know. But I know I probably have a lot of holes in my prediction too, but that's what thing's going to happen. Drew McIntyre will help Damian Priest some way, somehow, successfully cash in just afterwards for Drew McIntyre to reveal that he's been working with Rhea Ripley not just to help Damian win the title, but to get Damian out of the Judgment Day. I think it's interesting. I think it could work, which is why this should main event the show. Because either way, whether that's it or not, something is happening in this match to further on the character development of Drew McIntyre. Something is happening in this match. So that's what I'm going to predict. It's a crazy prediction, but I'm going along with it. I'm throwing a Hail Mary, and I'm saying full grace, and thinking that could be the case. No pun intended, because the briefcase. But that, guys, is my predictions for Crown Jewel 2023. I dug a little deep there. So again, my predictions are Sami Zayn wins in the pre-show match against the personal Judgment Day punching bag, JD McDonough. Roman Reigns retains the title over LA Knight. Io Sky retains the title over Bianca Belair, but Kairi Sane returns after the match and has a face-to-face confrontation with Io Sky. Logan Paul will win the U.S. title from Rey Mysterio. Cody Rhodes will defeat Damian Priest. Rhea Ripley will retain her women's title in the Fatal 5-Way. John Cena will beat Sikoa, but Karrion Kross will attack him after the match to write Cena off TV and set up for a WrestleMania feud. And I still think Damian Priest will cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase in the main event and win thanks to some sort of help from Drew McIntyre. But afterwards, it is revealed Drew McIntyre is the true leader of the Judgment Day, and the Judgment Day kick out Damian Priest. And we set for Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre for the world title. You think I'm crazy? I am crazy. But that's just what I'm going to predict. Because that's what I do. A beat, 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 beat. I didn't do it right there. A beat, a beat, a beat, beat, beat. That's all, folks. But yes, that is my Crown Jewel 2023 preview and predictions. Let's check that live chat before we go off the air, and we'll go from there. What do we got here? I think we got, do you think Chris Masters will show up in the WWE? I don't know. He could, but I've not really heard any rumors about that at all, so probably not. Tyler thinks Rhea needs to drop the belt. I read those. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I'm way off. I'm sorry. Wait, where I completely missed a bunch of things. Okay, I think here's where I was at. Okay, I was on Tyler. I'm sorry. Okay, Tyler saying, I had a bad, sickening feeling Bianca's winning the belt. Just give the belt to Charlotte when it should have been Asuka. I did a what if last month. Okay? Why Zoe? Becky should be the one to take the title from Rhea. You see, I want that match. Rhea and Becky. But I just want someone different to have that moment at WrestleMania. Which, again, I love Becky. But again, she's already had that moment. I want somebody new. Which is why I'm saying Zoe. This John Cena Soul Sikoa, it reminds him of Cena versus Umaga in 2007. Rest in peace, Umaga. Or sorry, Oh my god. Seth and Drew need to main event Crown. Shit. He's saying Tyler agrees with me on that. Cool. Mark says, I love your ideas. Way better than Vince. I thought Vince said, I love your dress. I'm like, I'm not wearing a dress, but yep, that is my idea. That is the big curveball I want to throw at Crown Jewel, which is why, again, that match with Seth and Drew should main event the show over Roman and LA Knight. But if Roman Reigns and LA Knight main event the show, I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying, I think the fallout from that Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre match is going to be the talk of this show. Just saying. But guys, thank you again for joining me for this live review. This live preview and predictions. I will be live again sometime this weekend also. I'm going to watch Crown Jewel Saturday night with some friends. And I'll probably review maybe sometime Sunday. But we will be live for that. I'll try to get the SmackDown review in tomorrow night, if not sometime Saturday before I watch Crown Jewel. But either way, I still got this in. And yeah, just more stuff's going to come. Hopefully I get the next Roller Coaster Tycoon Park started, which is Mel's World. I've already done the first map of my next Wolfenstein 3D Let's Play. And of course, a bunch of other stuff is coming as well. Of course, after the pay-per-view, I have Survivor Series card predictions to do, which I think the Crown Jewel one got to like 700 some views, which not bad. I was hoping for more because it got to a very hot start, but you know, it's at least better than what it was doing when I pulled the plug on them a while ago. 728 views, not bad. I was just kind of hoping for a little more, but you know. But that's going to do it, guys. Again, thank you all for joining me live. What are your thoughts on my preview predictions for Crown Jewel? What are your preview predictions for Crown Jewel as well? Do you see anything crazy happening on the show? Leave your guys' thoughts down in the comments section below. And be sure, as always, to slap a like on the video. Subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at thecluboftheman93. Also follow me on TikTok and Instagram, where I'm probably active the most anymore, is my Instagram, at the Club of the Man 1993. And until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. And do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am, and I definitely will be, if I get that main event prediction right. For I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion. That is a fact of life. Say it with me, everybody!